All right, day 3. Let's do this. All right, just doing a little brief check-in. It's a rather boring day, to be honest. I was looking more for an interactive customer experience today, but it's not looking like we might get much of that. I don't know. The day is young, so to speak. We'll see. Now we're up in Vista today, near Carlsbad. We're pretty close to the Carlsbad Tesla location, where I'm sure a lot of San Diego owners took delivery of their cars. These roads, like here on Emerald and such, they're tricky. There's a lot of highway ingress and egress as well as standard traffic. And the lane we just got in a moment ago, it's kind of in the middle of the bridge where the highway intersections and all are. And yet, it's its own traffic light. All right, well, we're gonna get turned around and head to a supercharger. Closest one's 13 clicks away, V3 in San Marcos. When we pull into the charger, we'll do a little recap on the day so far. Today is probably gonna be pretty specifically focused on the actual stats on the app. Hopefully tomorrow we'll hit the 1,000-mile mark. We'll have a better idea of that by the end of today. Maybe a little bit of an idea of that here in about 5 minutes or so. I definitely feel like I've adapted and feel attuned to the safety scoring scenarios and how you should drive. It's becoming habit now to give myself more distance and to turn more gently, decelerate more gently, not gun it everywhere. It's strange. This is the longest I've gone without really punching it. I'm pretty confident we're still at 99%. Let's see. 0 forward collision warnings the entire time I've been driving for this. And of course, 0 forced autopilot disengagements. Now, I am gonna predict that the overall hard braking is 0.2%. Aggressive cornering, 0.5%. And following distance, this one always gets me. I'm gonna guesstimate 9.3%. Just like how that Toyota cut in front, if I wasn't already decelerating, that could have been a forward collision warning. This is a relatively new charger. It went up probably within the last 2-3 months, maybe even sooner than that. It's a version 3, of course, as pretty much all new chargers are. 20 stall charger, 14 available. Now this one being far away from like urban downtown San Diego or anything, it's got a fixed rate at 38 cents per kilowatt hour, which is fine. It's actually 3 cents cheaper during peak hours than it would be down like in the Balboa location that I normally charge at. And let's take a look at the safety score. So again, I'll overlay it on the screen, but we are still at 99%. And my predictions are pretty close. 0.2 on hard braking, 0.4 on aggressive turning, 8.8 following distance overall. Of course, no forward collision issues, no forced autopilot disengagement issues. Now what's exciting is if we go into today's stats, my safety score for today is still at 100%. 0.1 hard braking, 0 aggressive turning, and a 7% on unsafe following. Again, unsafe following seems to be the least of the priority concerns, so it doesn't really surprise me that I'm doing pretty well there. Based on trips, let's see, we've got a total recorded of 6. Hey, 4.1 following distance on my last trip. That's pretty good. That's just about 2 hours. Not quite. But throughout the day, wow. So about a 5-minute trip with no issues, about an hour trip with no issues. I'm getting pretty good at this. Woo! So as you just saw, we're doing really well. We're approaching 600 miles on the qualifier. And for today, you're still rocking that 100% score. I want to see if I can keep that up throughout the rest of the day. Hoping to get another 100 miles or so added to it, maybe more. It's about time to take a break, to go hit the gym, keep the health in mind. And then as soon as that's over, we'll be right back at it, working up in Carlsbad, Vista area, racking up the miles and hopefully getting some more content. Today's been a rather quiet day, but I want to keep the pattern here, make sure every day is logged. So I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. Please let me know if there's anything you can think of that would make it more fun or exciting, or questions you may have. I would love to be able to answer some of those questions, and maybe in a later video, you know, day 4, 5, 6, 7. Every day is one day closer to the beta. Let's do this. All right, we are heading to the gym. We're gonna try to get through all this chaos. It's about an 18-click trip, mostly down the 78, which seems to be pretty laden with traffic at the moment. So this right here is definitely a scenario where you're gonna wanna be paying attention to your distance. It's so easy to lose track as you're trying to merge or, you know, get out of an oncoming lane or getting into another lane, building the distance, like say, to this truck next to us, but then you already have another car coming up, this little blue Honda. But by gauging that distance, you can also avoid heavy turning maneuvers like the Honda just did, actually. So we actually have a Volkswagen that's kind of chilling out right now, which lets us merge over, maintaining a good amount of distance to the Nissan in front of us, avoiding any unnecessary braking or jolty turning maneuvers, keeping those scores as high as possible in the safety regard. So I guess as low as possible percentage-wise. But now that we're in this lane, we can kind of just cruise along. This is a case where I'm pretty confident that autopilot won't have any brash braking decisions. All right, guys, wrapping it up for the day. We're gonna check the phone and see how today went. So going into the safety score, still at a nice 99%. And let's check today. 172 miles driven at 100% safety. So that's a good amount over the 3 days. We'll get back at it tomorrow. Take care.